Finally, new rule, stop saying that Whoopi Goldberg getting yanked from The View right after she attacked me on The View is karma. There's no such thing as karma, sorry. Sorry, but life is random. The only word to describe it when a big game hunter gets trampled by an elephant and then eaten by lions is hilarious.
It all kicked off with a moment so small it could have been forgotten. Whoopi Goldberg tossing out a quick jab at Bill Maher on The View. Just a casual remark, something she probably figured would dissolve into the background chatter. But here's the hook. When you drag Bill Maher into the conversation, even lightly, you're not just making a comment. You're striking a match over gasoline. And once that spark catches, it doesn't fade quietly. It roars.
They're disgusting. She's Anna Navarro in your wildest imagination. You could never solo host a show. You will only ever make it as part of an ensemble, and you could never hope to achieve the success that Tucker Carlson has. So you can sit in your little cheap seats all day long and enjoy your little negative henpecking, but your careers are going nowhere.
Because here's the truth. Bill Maher isn't the type to let a dig slide. He doesn't stay quiet, and he doesn't let anyone else, especially someone like Whoopi, claim the last word. When you step into that arena, you're in dangerous territory, and Maher is armed with more than just a comeback.
It's called The View?
It's called The View. It's not called The Facts.
Yeah, but isn't it interesting that it's called, I don't think they meant this when Barbara Walters invented it a long time ago, but it's The View.
Well,
that's the problem in America.
But
there is one view,
right, and
one
that's clearly
true opinion, and everybody else can go sit in the corner.
So what happened next? The moment Whoopi cracked the door open, Maher kicked it off its hinges. That one throwaway comment turned into a back and forth that nobody expected. And the fallout? That's where the real story begins to take shape. Sharp, dramatic, and impossible to ignore.
Talk about Whoopi Goldberg because I got so many texts this week because she attacked me the week before.
Sure.
So everybody was like, oh, Bill, I get you're enjoying the karma. First of all, I'm going to talk about this at the end of my show next week, teaser. But there is no thing as karma, okay? Get over that. Whoopi attacks me on a regular basis. She says stupid shit on a regular basis. It just happened to coincide.
Then came the tidal wave. Loud, sharp, and devastating. Maher didn't just clap back. He dismantled the stage from a distance. He didn't need to sit at the table or sip coffee with the panel. Instead, he tore The View apart piece by piece. Things got even wilder when, almost immediately after Whoopi's comments aired, she was suddenly pulled from the show. Social media lit up like fireworks, with fans screaming, "Karma." But Maher wasn't buying it. On air, he shot back. There's no such thing as karma. For him, life is random, unfair, and sometimes hilarious. Like a big game hunter trampled by an elephant and then eaten by lions. Not justice, not fate, just absurd comedy. And that was Maher's point. He wasn't chasing revenge. He was laughing at the chaos, while reminding people how often Whoopi has hurled insults his way, only for the crowd to cheer the moment she stumbled.
Hot mess that they air in the mornings, called The View, had to issue not one, not two, not three, but 4 corrections, legal corrections, 4 legal notes. We only have 3 of them on camera, but look at this.
Before we dive deeper into this showdown, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. It helps the channel grow, so we can keep bringing you more of these untold behind-the-curtain stories.
I have another legal note.
My God.
Both Trump and Pam Bondi have denied allegations of a quid pro quo. I have a legal note.
Not to mention what they did at that debate, where once again, they tried to fact check only one side, and then when their fact checks got fact checked, they cowered.
And just when you thought things couldn't get any messier, in steps Megyn Kelly. She didn't need to walk onto the View set. Her weapon of choice was precision from the sidelines. No shouting, no theatrics, just one cold truth grenade lobbed straight at the heart of the show. Kelly calmly tore into the View with the accuracy of a surgeon, saying what millions had been thinking but never dared to say. This isn't a talk show. It's an overproduced echo chamber dressed up as conversation.
I mentioned this karma stuff on the show last week because I was relating how many texts and emails I got from people congratulating me on receiving a karmagram from the universe.
Kelly described it bluntly. One host talks, the others nod along. And the moment a guest dares to bring a fresh perspective, they're shut down instantly. There's no real debate, no genuine pushback, just a performance carefully choreographed to look like outrage.
In the form of Whoopi Goldberg's chastisement. So I thought this would be a good time for a little tutorial on karma, which, as Americans understand it, is nothing more than an extension of the common logical fallacy called post hoc ergo propter hoc.
She went further, calling out the endless loop of virtue signaling, the one-view-fits-all mentality, and the fake empowerment that flits toxic the second someone disagrees. And the wildest part? The hosts didn't swing back. No fiery defense, no quick clapbacks, nothing. Just silence. As though they knew deep down Kelly had hit the nerve dead on. One woman, one Nike, zero mercy. That single monologue left more of an impression than an entire week's worth of staged episodes.
Donald Trump will be sworn in as the 47th president of the United States, yay, on January 20th of this month. Not everyone's happy about it, and many people would like us to be more focused on the insurrection that he personally unleashed, if you ask them, as we discussed earlier.
From there, Kelly didn't just toss shade. She went scorched earth. She ripped the entire tablecloth off and exposed the mess underneath. In her words, The View had become the place where logic goes to die. Not a forum for discussion, but a graveyard where reason is buried under rehearsed outrage and shallow sound bites.
They think it's as bad as, like, the Holocaust, and you don't have to take my word for it. Here is Sunny Hostin of
January
The View
6th was
today.
an atrocity. It was one of the worst moments in American history. And when you think about the worst moments in American history,
She painted a picture of the set as a stage full of people shouting opinions they barely skimmed 5 minutes before airtime. Instead of informed debate, it was a rush to fill the segment with noise. Her critique wasn't just insult for insult. It was a deep cut into the very structure of the show. She exposed how flimsy the foundation really was, and why so many viewers were tuning out.
like World War II, things that happened, like the Holocaust, chattel slavery.
Yeah, the January 6th is right up there next to the Holocaust and slavery.
She compared it to sitting through a lecture by professors who never did the reading. Then came the receipts. The View had to issue 4 legal corrections, but on air, they only admitted to 3. Sloppy, careless, and self-contradictory. Kelly hammered the point that the hosts weren't just uninformed, they were reckless. When they tried to fact-check others, they ended up needing fact checks themselves. Worse still, they twisted debates into soap opera melodrama to keep the spectacle alive.
Hey, out there, that hat that you keep wearing, that red hat that says "Make America Great Again," that tells people that you go along with this. So you might as well just put a swastika on the hat.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Because we see it anyway.
I'm not going to defend Donald Trump ever, but I would never say that we should put the swastika on the cap, because I think you can hate Donald Trump. You can't hate everybody who likes him. It's half the country. I don't want to live in that country. I don't want to live in the country where I hate half the country, and I don't hate half the country.
How dare you disagree?
And then came the red hat, that infamous Make America Great Again cap that instantly sparks division. The moment someone wears it, assumptions explode. And one host on The View even went as far as to say, "You might as well slap a swastika on it." That's when Maher stepped in. He wasn't defending Trump, and he made that crystal clear. But he did call out the insanity of equating millions of Americans with Nazis just because of a hat. Maher's argument was sharp. You can hate Trump all you want, but you can't automatically hate half the country. That mindset doesn't just poison politics. It poisons the culture itself.
I'm old enough to remember when it was the conservatives who hated the Jews.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bill Maher, who has been the standard bearer for liberalism and in many ways leftism until the woke went bananas in this last decade, but for decades, that's what this guy has represented in America. I want you to note the tone they all talk with him. I want you to look at Sonny Hostin's body language and the way they look at him and everything else. Just because he is a lefty who hasn't gone completely bananas, here they are talking about the word woke.
And Maher didn't stop there. He ripped The View for what it's become. Not a platform for honest dialogue, but a firing squad for anyone daring to think differently. He mocked the show as synchronized indignation, outrage performed on cue like it's scripted theater. And when someone does break the script, suddenly it's time to pivot, cut to a cooking segment, and roll the soft lighting as if nothing happened. Maher spotlighted the hypocrisy in brutal detail, leaving no doubt that he sees The View not as journalism, but as manufactured outrage for daytime ratings.